Hi, my name is Lloyd Chapman. I'm president and founder of the American Small Business League. And something interesting happened last week that I'm really happy about. So a few weeks ago, the Small Business Administration proposed a policy change that would have pushed probably up to 12,000 information technology value-added resellers out of the federal marketplace, would have bankrupted thousands of companies, and no group in America that claims to represent small businesses said a word except the American Small Business League. So the purpose of this video is to help you understand who supports you. Now, I'm only talking to small businesses that do business with the federal government. You know, if you've got a plumbing company in Des Moines or, you know, an automobile shop, you know, in Dallas somewhere, that's not what we do. The American Small Business League focuses on the 500,000 small businesses that are registered to do business with the federal government. And we're your voice. We're your only voice. And this latest SB proposal is an example of that. So the American Small Business League led the opposition to this. I did national radio shows. We issued national press releases. We told the SBA if they tried to implement this clearly anti-small business policy, we'd file an injunction in federal court. And the smartest thing we did was to retain Professor Charles Tiefer, who's the nation's leading expert on federal contracting law. And we asked Professor Tiefer to take a look at this for us. And he found out that the SBA did not have the authority to adopt a policy like this. And he wrote a very compelling comment. And that prompted actually Congressman Sam Graves to join the American Small Business League and Professor Tiefer in opposing this SBA policy change. But the main thing I want you to realize is, and go look at the comments. Where are the comments? Where can people see those comments? What website are they on?
Federal Register website.
The Federal Register website. Go to the Federal Register website and look at these comments and notice not one group in America that claims to represent these small businesses oppose this at all. Not one. Not the NFIB or the National Small Business Association or, you know, anybody. Women Impacting Public Policy, the U.S. Chamber, nobody. So here's a policy that, you know, Congressman Graves, Professor Tiefer agree is an anti-small business policy. It would have bankrupted thousands of information technology value-added resellers. And who opposed it? No organization but the American Small Business League. Think about that. So take a look at it. But this is just an example. This is not, by the way, something unique. The SBA Inspector General has said every year for a decade, the number one problem at the SBA is the diversion of federal small business contracts to large businesses. I think I've done, I don't know, 24 national television shows about that. I tell you what, find me one other person from any other small business group on national television objecting to the diversion of federal small business contracts to corporate giants. You can't do it. Why not? These people, you know, I think the NFIB says they're the voice of small business in America. Well, they're an awfully quiet voice. The SBA Inspector General has said every year for a decade that the diversion of federal small business contracts to large business is the number one problem. And they haven't said a word in a decade. And then this latest situation where the SBA is trying to adopt this anti-small business policy that would have devastated thousands of small businesses. Where's the NFIB? Where's the U.S. Chamber? Where's Women Impacting Public Policy? Where's any of these groups? Think of any group, go to the website and find any group in America that claims to represent small business and notice none of them have ever done even one national television show objecting to the diversion of federal small business contracts to large businesses. Not one person's ever objected to the attempts to close the SBA by coming out of the Department of Commerce. And this last example, no organization that claims to represent small business country except the American Small Business League said a word. And we led the charge. We hired the nation's most famous lawyer on federal contracting law, and he looked at it and issued a comment that said they don't have the authority to do it, and we stopped them. So think about that. If you're a small business in the federal marketplace, forget what anybody tells you but what I'm telling you. Look at the facts. How about that? Look at the facts. Don't believe me. Don't believe what other people tell you. Look at the facts. Look at this latest SBA proposal to change the small business side stand for information technology value-added resellers. And notice, no organization that claims to represent small businesses but the American Small Business League said a word, and we led the way. And Professor Tiefer's opinion, I think, is what's going to kill this, and Congressman Graves has joined us. So think about that. I'm Lloyd Chapman with the American Small Business League. Thanks for watching.